what we have recently launched, and I know we're the only company in the UK that does this, and it's a try before you buy, basically. So you can hire any product off us for 2 weeks. You can try it out. You can go wherever you want. Make sure it goes to the garden centre you want to, or your local shops. You can get your own route and plan it to make sure it will do everything you need. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, if you're happy with that product and you want to purchase one from us, then you get the cost of that hire back.
Hello, Ashley. How are you? Welcome to the Carecast.
Thanks, Luca, for a Monday morning.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back again. We had to re-record. We lost the last recording, but this one's going to be even better, isn't it?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. But just as I say, I love to speak to people within the care industry and beyond, the sort of people that supply equipment to those who need care, which is obviously very, very important. But tell us a bit about Mobility Hire, if you would, Ashley, and in a bit about yourself and what role you have there.
Yes, certainly. So Mobility Hire is a family business, and they've been doing the hire side of products for the past 20 years. So we do short-term hire and long-term hire. We do very quick delivery. So we're nationwide, and we can do products within 48 hours anywhere in the country. They're delivered by our own delivery drivers, technicians. So when they're delivered, people are shown how to use the products, and they're gone through and explained all about the product with them. For myself, I've been in the industry for 37 years, and I've worked in many different roles, but I have to say I'm thoroughly enjoying this role. And I've known Mobility Hire for about 15 years, and I joined them about 6 months ago. And it's just a great job. When you can help people and support people, you can't really get any better. We're all in business, obviously. We have to make money to be able to stay in business, but by helping people at the same time, it's a win-win. So, as I say, it's a family business. We have everything is done through ourselves. We don't use any third-party suppliers or anything like that, unless it's a very basic folding wheelchair, which we will send out with a courier. But for all the other products, which we have 16,000 different types of products, then the majority of the time we deliver it ourselves, and we have our own in-call centre as well.
For families or individuals who are noticing that they or their loved ones are missing a step, maybe at risk of falling, or who, might be finding it difficult to get around, what's the first step in deciding what sort of equipment that they need for them to get a good idea of what's right and wrong for them?
Okay, well, I would imagine the good thing would be for them to speak to their family. Let them know what the issues they're having, what's difficult for them, and really what they want to achieve, what they want to be able to do. So if, let's say, they're stuck in the house all day and they want to be able to get down to the shops, then something like a mobility scooter might be the answer. And it's, at the end of the day, it's to be able to get people out and about. I don't think there's anything worse than just being stuck in the same place, looking at the same four walls every day. So to be able to get out and about is a lot, but also for indoor use as well. So speak to family, explain all the issues, or speak to friends if you know of a friend who's got a mobility scooter or a lift and recline chair to help you get in and out of the chair all day. Or if you want to snooze in the afternoon, then you can recline it back and have a snooze. That's the place to start. And then once you've got an idea of what you want to try and achieve, then just call us, speak to the team, and they'll guide you and explain about all the different options that might be of use to you.
Gotcha.
Never be afraid to call us and with us. We've got 20 years experience doing it. A lot of good things that can come from a telephone conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no charge for that, is there? And anyone that calls you will be speaking to an expert, really. Obviously, there's
Exactly.
When it comes to mobility aids, there's lots of different options, whether it's scooters or wheelchairs or all sorts of different sorts of things. But once someone has identified, maybe that they maybe need a scooter, how do they sort of narrow down and understand which bit of equipment that they need?
Right, yeah, that can be quite a daunting task. As you say, there's so many different variations on the market. But what I would say is please visit our website. It's very intuitive, very simple to use. The information that you have on there, you have everything at your fingertips. You can download all the brochures for the different kind of products once you've got an idea of really what you want. It will give you all the technical specs. There's videos on there. And then again, simple, once you've narrowed it down, then speak to our team in-house, and that will give you the best direction on each particular product. Once they understand what your issues are, then they'll be able to say, well, I probably wouldn't go for this model. This model's better for your needs, and it will go from there. One thing I would say that is very important to me, please never buy direct products off the off the internet.
Yeah.
There's so many variations.
Yeah,
and
what you mean there
to make sure.
I was going to say, actually, what you mean there is specifically maybe a website where there's no after service offered, there's no setting up offered, and there's very little advice and whatnot. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I get very, very frustrated about it. I see so many people where they've seen something, oh, that's cheap, I'll have it. Whenever something's cheap, there's always a reason behind it. So you have no aftercare. If anything goes wrong with it, you have to put it together. You haven't tested it, so you don't know if it's going to do everything that you want it to do. And who you call then if anything does go wrong? You're sort of left in limbo. So try and hire something first. And what we have recently launched, and I know we're the only company in the UK that does this, and it's a try before you buy, basically. So you can hire any product off us for 2 weeks. You can try it out. You can go wherever you want. Make sure it goes to the garden centre you want to, or your local shops. You can get your own route and plan it to make sure it will do everything you need. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, if you're happy with that product and you want to purchase one from us, then you get the cost of that hire back.
Yep.
So you're not really paying for anything to try it out. And if it's not the correct product, sometimes that happens and then it'll slip through the net, but then you send it back and you hire something else. And you say to us, it didn't really work for me for that reason or this reason. So then we'll say this product will.
Yep. So using your company is a bit like a process where you're eventually, if you do want to buy it and have something longer term, you've had a chance to use it and maybe you've even tried something different, maybe better, and then use that. And then you can eventually purchase it if you want to and avoid the rental fees and just purchase it as a one-off purchase.
Yes. Yeah.
How do families figure out whether they want to do a short-term hire or a longer-term hire? Obviously, partly it must depend on someone's injury or their form of disability or disablement, but what's
of course.
I
mean, the short-term hire, how we work is it's a minimum of 2 weeks. So as you can appreciate, we get a lot of people that are going away on holiday. So elderly people going on holiday and they need a piece of equipment for that. Or it could be that they've already got their own equipment, but they can't fit it in the car with all their bags.
Yeah.
Fit it there. So we do an awful lot of short-term hire for holidays, and we work with all the major cruise lines and all disabled holidays, etc., hotels, and they can pick the product and we get it delivered directly to where they're going on holiday, and then again be collected. But also we do get the short-term hire for people that have been into hospital and they might have had a hip operation and they want to lift and recline chair for 2 or 3 weeks until they're better. That's another way of doing things as well. But the more long-term people, that is for people that really know what their condition is, know that it could change. So they don't want to go and spend a lot of money on one piece of equipment and then in 6 months, it's of no use to them.
Yeah.
So by hiring it, they can change it at any time. And also with our hire, they're completely covered. So you've got a peace of mind package. So they're insured. Any breakdowns, they don't have to pay for batteries or tyres or anything like that. And with the breakdown side of things, I think we're very good and top of our game in regards to if a product goes down or there's an issue with any product, We don't mess about with sending engineers everywhere. They get to the client's house, find out what the issue is. Then we have to order the part, wait 2 or 3 weeks. Then we have to go back out and fit again, what most people do. What we do is we just take a similar product out within 48 hours and we swap it over. So that client never without a product. They will always have something to be able to get them out of base or to be able to help them in the home.
Yeah.
And it's simpler for us to be able to do it that way because we can just bring that product in. If it sits in the warehouse for 2 weeks, 3 weeks while we're waiting for the part, it's fine because we've got 20 others exactly the same.
Yeah. Gotcha. And if the family's worried about whether equipment will fit or be the appropriate size, how do you guide them and make sure everything works safely within their home? And I suppose as the company that rents out the equipment, the onus is on yourselves to get that right, because otherwise you'll just have to something that does fit, right?
Unfortunately, we can only go by what we're told from the client. However, as I said before, the website is very intuitive and informative. And there's actually sizing forms on there as well. So the client will put their dimensions down. And then when they actually come through to the team to actually order a product, then our team will also speak to them about where they're living. So how many steps there are to the property? Is there enough room to get into the property, either through the front or the back?
Yep.
So we can cover that pretty well just by speaking to the client and going through the question or the answer.
Obviously every home is different, and some people might be living in, say, a 1-bedroom apartment or a flat or dwelling. How do you make sure that delivery and setup is smooth for individuals, especially when there's a lack of space?
Okay. Well, again, as I say, we will speak to the client about the space that they have, and if they've got any other products in that particular area, what they have. And obviously, when we actually deliver the products, then our delivery drivers and technicians will have a good idea. They do day in and day out, and they'll figure a way of getting something indoors. For mobility scooters, they tend to be kept outdoors anyway, so in a garden, in the shed, or in a garage. And again, that's something we'll have. As long as it's in a secure position for the mobility scooters in the garden, then a cover will be sent with it as well, so in case it rains or anything like that. And we'll also ask them where their plugs are to be able to charge. So there's a big list of things that we do ask the client before anything actually goes out. So you could never get every eventuality, but I think we'd be fair to say we probably get 99% of it correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you work as well with professionals that advise families, for example, occupational therapists, physios, and other healthcare professionals that they themselves are helping with reablement? Do you work alongside those sorts of professionals?
We do indeed, yeah. So we do an awful lot with case management companies. And Peter, one of our directors, is actually a trained OT and rehab engineer. And that's on our parent company side, which is called Horizon Mobility. And he will actually go out and do in-depth assessments as well. And he will go out a lot with OTs. We do a lot of what we call DWP, which is the Work and Pensions Department. Yep. And that's their own people that are working for them. He will go out and do all their assessments for people to be able to have the correct wheelchairs for their use at work. So he's very high-end, and Peter covers the whole of the UK.
Yep. For those worried about costs, what's available to people with a disability or disablement in terms of schemes or vouchers or, the sort of equivalent of a sort of notability?
With all of our products, we do have a good, a better, and a best option. So we try to cover what financial people are able to be able to spend. But there are organisations out there that they can go to and try and get some help. So obviously there's the RAF Benevolent Fund for anybody that's been in the services. They can get support from them. And we actually work with one company and they will try and find charities for you and do that type of work, try and get you the support they need. We also have the voucher system from the NHS. So when you're assessed from the NHS, obviously they have to find products for so many people, then you tend to get the basic of what they feel that you need. And if you're not happy with that, then you can get a voucher off them for the price of what they would supply you. And you can use that to get something better.
Yeah.
And we have voucher systems as well.
Gotcha.
So I think Voucher Life, the company that we do pass a lot of people on, they're very good. But it does take a while, and it's not something that happens within a week. It can probably take up to 3 months before they can try and find the funding for you.
Absolutely. For those who are renting equipment for maybe a year or two or quite a long period of time, how do families know that equipment is in serviceable order and it's safe and that all the checks and maintenance have been done? Do you take care of that as well?
Of course we do. Before any product goes out, it goes through a rigorous testing procedure. So we know straight away that that product is fine. Any products that need testing for the electrics, we do all that. Those are done on a 6-monthly check. So if somebody's got something on a long-term hire, then every 12 months we would go out and do a service on that particular product anyway. And if it needed to come back in, then we would always take a replacement out for them.
Gotcha. What are your top 5 tips for families who are choosing mobility equipment for the first time? What would you say to them?
Oh, where do you begin? But I think first and foremost, the most important one is please do not buy
just off the internet. Yeah.
So don't just go on, look and think, oh, that's good, that looks nice, and guess. Think about what you're doing first. You know, speak to your family, speak to friends, speak to people that have got products that you're thinking of using, and speak to them and ask them what they think and what they feel. That's where you'll get a lot of your information that you actually require. Do sit down and do a list of what you want to do, what you want to achieve. If it's mobility for outdoors, think of the shops you want to be able to go to. If it's got to go into a car, will it fold? Is it light enough? Will you be able to manage the weight? That's a really important thing to do because it narrows everything down for you, because it can be a big minefield when you're looking at thousands of different products to try and think the right one. And as I said before, please just call us. It doesn't cost anything to call us and we'll give you our advice. You don't need to hire something. You can go and buy it from anywhere you want. But get a good idea first and speak to people that know about the product. Not somebody that just wants to sell you the most expensive product out there when something half the price will do just what you need.
No, absolutely.
I've done assessments. My background is posture management. So I've done high-end assessments for well over 30 years. And people will pay, unfortunately, for something that they really don't need. Something half the cost would have been more than sufficient for what they wanted to do. So just really think about it and speak to people.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yes, there's no rush. And as I say, try before you buy the highest grade. You cannot go wrong. You really can't.
And for individuals or families wanting to get in touch, just give us your website details and your telephone number if you would.
Yeah, of course. So it's mobility hire. And if you go onto Google, we're always at the top of the page.
It's mobilityhire.com, isn't it? Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And what would the telephone number be there, Ashley?
We do have a free phone number, and I haven't got it to hand because we have so many.
I am online, so I will click on the one. So I'll read it out. 0800 111 6234. So it's 0800 111 6234, which is prominently on the homepage of the website, and you can see lovely pictures of people using mobility aids at things like concerts and festivals and things like that.
Yeah, we do all the big festivals, Glastonbury and everything, but unfortunately I've never had a free ticket yet.
Next year, maybe. Next year. Give me a shout if you need a hand there. But been brilliant speaking to you, Ashley. Really appreciate your time. Great learning about the products and services. And to everyone listening, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found the video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more valuable tips and insights to help navigate the care journey. Thank you very much, Ashley.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure. You take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.